Well, hello there, Scorpio. How are you? It is so good to see you again. I'm Mary Sue, and I'm so grateful that you're here. So today we are doing your July career and money tarot reading. We'll take a look first at the overall energies with the oracle cards, and then we'll move to the tarot for more details about any obstacles on your path or advice that Spirit has for you. I'm also going to be incorporating the life purpose cards. So it's really important for us to be in alignment with our life purpose. It doesn't mean that you have to change your career or job. A lot of times, though, knowing what your life purpose is and bringing that to the work that you do on a daily basis can actually have you having a greater sense of fulfillment in what you do every day, and also bring in more prosperity for you. So let's get into this. Let's see what you have on the horizon. Otter Spirit, you are never alone. And choosing your path, all is possible. Yeah, I feel like you're going on a new path. You're looking in a new direction. And once again, it doesn't mean that you actually are changing your career and job, although you may be. But there's also this energy of just the mindset of how you are going to approach this next part of your journey. And I feel like for some of you, you're kind of like bringing something to an end. Once again, doesn't mean you're quitting your job, but you're changing the mindset, perhaps, of how you are showing up. Yeah, understanding that you really are never alone. There's this sense that you may feel as though you've been on your path, your career and money sector path, for some time by yourself, wanting to perhaps have other people join you on your path. So say, for instance, you have your own business. You may feel overwhelmed at this time. Otters love to have fun, and maybe you feel like you don't have enough time for fun. This could be hiring other people that come onto your path so you don't have to carry the burden yourself. For others of you, if you're in like a romantic partnership or a business partnership, you could feel like you're carrying more of the burden than the other person. This could be changing your mindset, having a conversation with that person, trying to equal things out, because there's this sense that you feel like you can't have the fun that you want to, that you may have more responsibilities, feeling like you have more responsibilities on your shoulder than perhaps somebody else that you are dealing with. Just feeling like you're putting more time, energy, resources into something than somebody else. And then yes, you have the victim mentality on the bottom. It's kind of like an energy that this is bringing down the energy that you have for the work that you do, right? Because you're feeling like you're carrying a bigger burden. Even if you don't have your own business or it's not a personal relationship, you could feel like you're carrying more of the weight than your coworkers, right? Say, for instance, yeah, you're definitely feeling something here. You're going in a new direction, yeah, because you have the deception. I feel like you feel like, oh my goodness, this I think is very similar to the Capricorn reading. This energy that you have more of a burden, that you're taking on more burdens than other people that you are dealing with, okay, in the work sector. So that could mean, I know when I was a teacher and I was single, right? And then there were young teachers that were married and had young kids at home. Sometimes I felt the burden of feeling like I had to stay late and clean up everything else. You do more than the young mothers that were trying to get out of school to go pick up their children, and all of that I took on, but that was a burden I took on. Nobody expected that out of me except myself. And I feel like that's part of this energy, is understanding that you may have put some of this burden on your own plate. Yeah, you're showing up right here in your own reading. Yeah, this is hard. This is hard because, I know that Capricorn reading, it was that same type of energy. Kind of understanding that you've put yourself, or you've allowed yourself to get into this position. And then it's kind of like, okay, how am I going to get out of this position? It's allowing yourself to, and then you have the loving man, okay? I feel like, gender isn't specific here. This is kind of the emperor energy. Understanding that you've gotten yourself into this place, into this situation, okay? And it could have happened over time. You may suddenly wake up and feel like, why am I so exhausted? Why do I not have any time for fun, but everybody else in my life does, right? And it's understanding that you may have been focusing on the money aspect, okay? The tangible things. There's, with the Emperor energy, it's kind of like a sense of controlling the material things in your life. But all of a sudden you're realizing, okay, I'm chasing all of this materialism, okay, but I'm not having any fun. I'm not getting any joy out of the things that I have. Or if it's not the things that you have, the things that you are feeling like you want to give to other people. So, you could have like adult children, okay, that you are supporting. And they are perhaps pursuing a career that, they are truly enjoying, but that doesn't help to pay all of their bills. So you're financially supporting them as well as taking care of yourself. It's the energy of, where are your burdens? How have you gotten yourself into this? And with the Emperor, there is a little bit of an energy of understanding that you may have tried to put your focus on the material things, either for you or for your loved ones, feeling like you want to provide not just for yourself, but for other people. And now all of a sudden you're understanding, okay, I've taken on all of this burden. I've allowed myself to step into this energy, but I'm not enjoying it. I'm not enjoying either the things that you have purchased or the lifestyle, or perhaps just working in order to pay the bills or to help support other people. You're wanting to have some fun. Yeah. Okay, so let's go. Actually, I'm going to pull. Let's do the life purpose cards. Let's see how that may help you in this situation. Yeah, this is kind of like a little bit of, that of a reality check, I guess, with what is really important. Kind of like, that full moon in Capricorn that we had on Monday helps us to bring in this sense of balance between the material and the spiritual, right? The practical things in our life and the things that we do that bring us pleasure and play. Right? And because our spiritual self wants to have these beautiful experiences, maybe having time and the resources to go on vacation, right? Or just to be able to, experience other things in life. It's about the experiences, maybe not so much the tangible things that you can hold. And I feel like that is the energy. You're understanding, okay, I've created this life. You could have a lot of debt. You could be trying to pay off the debt of your children if you have adult children. Just feeling the sense of burden, and yet at the same time, like not having any sense of true fulfillment out of it because it's a burden. It's not bringing you any pleasure. So let's see what your life purpose. Yeah, talk to your angels. Music, flowers. Yeah, author, teaching. Okay, this is just so beautiful because here's the thing, Scorpio, I think whatever you are doing out of a sense to earn money, okay? So you could even be compromising what your true life purpose is because you're concentrating on the material things that you want in your life. So you may have taken a job, okay, that is not in alignment with what your heart truly desires, right? Now, I'm not saying that you have to quit your career or job, right? It's just allowing yourself to have also some time, okay, for the things that you really and truly enjoy. You have music, flowers, okay? Spending time listening to the music that you really enjoy, spending time out in your garden, right? Or creating a garden, or sharing your love of flowers with other people, however that might mean for you, right? It's stepping into this energy of understanding. I feel like for some of you, you may have a book to write. It says you have a book inside of you that wants to be expressed. Make the time to write it. For some of you, you may have enjoyed writing in the past, but now you have to work so hard at keeping what you have going, right, that you don't have the time to write or spend in the garden or to write music, right? And then you also have teaching. You inspire young people to learn. It's this energy where I feel like you're putting your time and energy into, it's like a hamster on a wheel, right? It's like, okay, I have to just keep this going. There's something about keeping something going, but it is about understanding. You have protection. You are safe and supported while you change your career. For some of you, you may be actually thinking about changing your career. It does not mean that tomorrow you go in and quit your job. It's about, okay, what direction do I want to go in? What will bring me this more sense of having pleasure and play in my work so I don't feel so burdened, right? It's about looking at, where is your debt? Where is your money going? Why are you feeling this burden? Why are you taking on, just like I did, why are you taking on working late so that the young mothers can go home and be with their children? Why are you taking that on? Asking yourself some of those difficult questions, right? And then talking to your spirit guides and angels, understanding that you have this opportunity to change, okay? And once again, it may take a little time for you to get there, to understand, okay, what do I have to do to get to this place where I have this balance between what I own and how I feel, the pleasure and the play that I have in my daily life? Yeah, I think your priorities are truly changing, Scorpio, because when we go to your present energy, you're showing up. There's a sense of true transformation within yourself. It could have been too that, because you are, one of the signs that truly enjoys transforming, right? So you could have gone from a sense of not having a lot. Perhaps as a child, you grew up and you didn't have a lot of money, right? So you wanted to build this sense of having material success in your life. But now you're understanding, okay, there's a balance though. When I was young and didn't have a lot, at least we would go and we would, climb trees and enjoy listening to the birds. And, we would just enjoy going and collecting wildflowers, right? Things that didn't cost any money. And now everything in your life may seem like it costs money. There's something that you have to fork money out for in order to keep. Even your pleasure and play may cost a lot of money. Instead of going on a vacation that is, vacations can always cost money, but maybe you go on a vacation where you go camping or something like that, something that doesn't cost a lot of money instead of going to some sort of fancy resort. It's understanding, okay, wait a minute, I want to get back to the things that really and truly bring me joy in my life. And how can I carve out the time so that I can do that? Because it's this energy, again, of having to work so hard to keep some type of lifestyle, going or something like that. And it's just, this deception card is getting real with yourself about how you maybe have allowed this to happen in your life. But once again, it's kind of like going from one chapter to the next, but to understand you're moving towards this sense of balance. So in your childhood, you may not have had a lot of money, right? So having money and safety and security, financial safety and security was important to you. You put a lot of time and energy into creating this new lifestyle for you. But now you're understanding, okay, it doesn't bring me the joy and satisfaction that I really wanted it to. So it's kind of like bringing back your energy into a balance of perhaps not working so hard, maybe not having quite as much money, but having the time for the things that you truly enjoy in your life. You're just balancing yourself out. Yeah, it's a time for healing, understanding, perhaps partly why having material success was so important to you, right? And healing perhaps those wounds. Maybe when you were a child and you had friends that had a lot and you didn't, right? Or, I remember when I was a child, we were fine when I was a child. I'm not going to say that, but I had some friends that at school that had significantly more than I did. And I remember this one time going to one of my friends' house, and there was like a group of 5 of us that, were getting together, and we were like in middle school. And I remember they had a thing about taking off your shoes before you went into the house, right? And I took off my shoes, not thinking about it, not a big deal. That's fine. A lot of people have that. And I had a hole in my sock. And I remember that the girl that was hosting this little get together that had a lot more than I did kind of started laughing about it, making fun of the fact that I had a hole in my sock. Well, it wasn't that we couldn't afford new socks. I'm not going to go there, but it is this energy of making, at that moment of feeling like, yeah, I don't fit in, I wanting to make sure that I always had socks that didn't have holes in them as I grew up, right? That was important to me. Well, I feel like it's not socks for you. There's something else, right? But it is that energy of, maybe as a teen, you always drove a used car and your other friends had new cars. So when you got out into the adult world, you always wanted fancy new cars, right? In order to heal something that you didn't have as a child, right? And it's perhaps looking back at that, why is the fancy new car so important to you? Right? Instead of understanding, well, yeah, I can have choosing your path. You can have any car you want. It's not about buying a car that helps you to feel like you're filling a hole, right? It's about understanding, no, I can have any car I want, whether it's used or it's new, it doesn't matter. I want to purchase the car that is in alignment with what I want instead of how much it costs or what kind of status it may prove to the world. Yeah, because I feel like you are celebrating. I think you have had some big success in your life, but what you're missing is the pleasure and the play in the success, right? It's actually disappointing you. The success, the celebration is actually disappointing you. It's not bringing you the love and the joy that you thought it would. There's a lack of fulfillment in your work. Yeah, so this is getting it back in alignment with what your heart desires, what your life purpose is, listening to music, having a garden, perhaps teaching, writing that book, having the time to do those things that really are important to you. You also have nutrition underneath here. You conduct healing work with your culinary skills. Maybe you haven't had the time to really kind of like enjoy cooking meals that are nutritious for yourself. Perhaps you're working so hard that you're just grabbing food on the run. And then you have study, which I always enjoy because, reading, research, and education help you gain confidence and clarity about your career. There is maybe perhaps a career change that you are thinking about making that will bring you a greater sense of fulfillment, right? And maybe it is about taking some type of certification course or going back to school or just even taking an online course that helps you to feel more confident in making that change. All right, so let's go to your area of resistance, your obstacle. Yeah, it's about looking at reassessing, okay? Reassessing what you really want to be committed to. It's about allowing yourself to say, okay, I've done this, I've done this, I've done this. Now where would I like to go? What have I learned about all of this perhaps success that you have acquired, okay? And looking at it from a different point of view. What would you like to commit to? For some of you, you have luck on your side. You may feel like perhaps that some of what you have acquired is just through luck. And it's kind of like this energy of what would you like to commit to, How could you commit to more of your sense of fulfillment in your work and allowing yourself to have more joy and pleasure in your life? Because let's take a look at your advice. Yeah, you have new beginnings. I love this. Yeah, I take time to breathe out. Yeah, I feel like you're just on the hamster wheel. It's understanding, okay, what do I really want out of life? And you know what, Scorpio, I'm also going to say, this is going to evolve again because you are the energy of transformations. You love to transform your life over and over again, right? Understanding you're just going into a new chapter, taking a look at what you want out of this next chapter. What is going to be important? Where do you want to commit your time and energy? Okay. And I think for some of you, you want more time and energy for pleasure and play. You don't want life to be so serious. There is this energy where you feel life is so serious. Yeah. And then Page of Swords, speaking your truth. Speaking your truth, perhaps, to family, friends, romantic partners, your boss, your clients, your customers, perhaps saying, yes, I want to cut back. I only want to work part-time or something like that. Whatever you can afford, It's looking at your time and energy and wanting to put it in those things that bring you more pleasure. Yeah. Because I feel like this is, you have the Knight of Swords. Kind of like just kind of feeling like you have to just keep going on this hamster wheel. Wow. 9 of Cups. Oh my goodness. Yes. Okay. So it is about bringing balance back into your life. I feel like there is this opportunity that's coming up that maybe you have manifested where you can speak your truth. You can understand, okay, I understand why I went after what I wanted and now I'm just changing directions. And it's fine, right? It's allowing yourself to change directions. It's allowing yourself to say, yes, okay, this isn't as important to me anymore. I'm going in a new direction. Yeah, because you have the 9 of Cups here, but then look at what you have. You have the Justice card, okay, Libra energy, and the 5 of Pentacles, okay, both in reverse. It's this energy of understanding that you're not balancing out your life. So you're feeling, okay, this 5 of Pentacles energy. It's about healing this 5 of Pentacles. It's understanding the why. It's kind of like me with the sock, the hole in the sock, right? It's kind of like, okay, then it became extremely important that I never had socks with holes in it. I remember going home and telling my mother, I need new socks. They all have to match. I have matching new socks with no holes in them. And my mother was like, okay, but it made me feel like I didn't have enough. It kind of like highlighted for me that to be honest, I think for me, I didn't really care that my sock had a hole in it, but somebody else did. So it made me feel like I should care that my sock had a hole in it, right? Instead of healing the energy, the wound, right? I went home and said, I need new socks. And maybe I did need new socks. Okay, I'm not, but it's kind of like thinking that the new socks, okay, would fill the hole that I felt of not being enough, right? Of not fitting in because everybody else had matching socks that didn't have a hole in them. So my socks rarely match. Even to this day, my socks rarely match. And there can be an occasional hole. I'm not going to lie about it. But I have been able to heal that it doesn't really matter. I mean, yeah, it's a kind of understanding, bringing this back into balance, understanding that it's not all about one thing. It's about kind of like healing the reasoning. And I think that that's what you're doing. You're doing a beautiful job of healing this, of understanding. Yeah, you've been holding yourself back. It's time to go on a new path. Look at this with the Lovers card. Yeah, and the Lovers is really this energy. It's Gemini energy, but it's also the energy of choosing what is really right for you instead of choosing, like me with the socks. I wanted matching socks with no holes, not for me, right? But so that I would feel like I would fit in with my friends. The truth of the matter is that probably nobody really cared about my socks, And in my mind, I probably blew the whole thing up out of proportion, right? And it's understanding, I could have handled that in a totally different way and laughed about it, right? I could have laughed about it and said, yeah, I like not having matching socks. I don't mind holes This is who I am. Instead, my poor mother had to go buy me new socks. So interesting. So interesting. It is kind of interesting because I feel like we all go through this. We make changes in our life based on how other people make us feel, but understanding that it's all about what do you really and truly want? What does your heart truly desire? And when you step into that energy, I think you also change the energy with the people that you're dealing with, whether it's your employers, your coworkers, your customers, your clients, or even your family members, right? It's understanding that when you are truly in alignment with what you want, right? Everybody knows that. It's so interesting. People just get it. Yeah, that's Scorpio. That's what Scorpio likes. Instead of kind of feeling like you have to relish on what other people want for you. Okay, so let's pull some business cards, okay? And this is, especially true if you have a career where you are kind of in contact with other people, okay? Whether it's coworkers, clients, or customers, okay? So you have build your email list and nurture your audience by staying in touch. Yeah, building a connection, okay, with your clients. Building a little bit more fun into your daily work, right? By building connections with your clients or your customers or, perhaps even your coworkers. But this is about emails. How can you better relate to your customers? And then you have decide. Yeah, confused by too many choices. Decide the best course of action and pursue income generating activities in your business. But this is about choosing your path. Where do you want to put your time and energy? What's really important to you? And then allowing yourself to step into that energy. And then you have funnel, create a dynamic customer experience that nurtures prospects to become paying clients. So having the funnel, once again, this energy of really connecting to your clients. And then get out of your own way and let the doors of success open for you. Drop resistance and go with the flow. Yeah. And I think that's really, once again, about stepping into this energy of how can you work less and enjoy life more? That's the question here. And not allowing perhaps some wounds that you are working on healing to hold you back, to understand, okay, I'm going to really go in the direction of what my heart truly desires. Instead of, there's a little bit of energy here of, trying to keep up with the Joneses or something like that, understanding that when you step into who you truly are, right, and you own who you are, then it's kind of like you're going to have this joy about you, asking yourself, is the world that you have created for yourself allowing you to be in that joyful energy? And if it isn't, okay, then where can you change what you're committed to? Where can you put your time and energy so that you have more of the pleasure and play that you are seeking in your life? Yeah, it's not all about work, right? It's not all about work. All right, let's pull a creativity oracle card for you. And Scorpio, I do personal readings. So if you're interested, the link is in the description box below. I'd really be honored to do a reading for you. Obstacles. Do not dwell on how you are going to surmount obstacles presently in your way. Yeah. And I think really the obstacles are, I feel like you are feeling burdened in some way. Like you're putting too much time and energy into something and not getting enough joy out of it. Or you have created for yourself some sense of burden, right? Of feeling like you have to take up for other coworkers that are not doing their share, right? Or even a business partner or a romantic partner that's not doing their share. There's this energy here of feeling overburdened, right? And understanding, okay, that appears to be an obstacle. But the truth of the matter is that we can't expect from other people what they're really and truly not willing to give, right? for me to get upset with the young teachers, the young mothers that I taught with that were leaving, okay, at a reasonable time and going to spend time with their family while I labored late at night at school, right? That was a choice I made. They were making their choice and I was making my choice. But I was making it now out of a sense of wanting to be there, but feeling like, well, somebody's got to do this, right? So why did I choose to do that? You know, what energy was I trying to heal? What wound was I trying to heal in that? Understanding that sometimes our obstacles help us to highlight what it is that we're trying to heal within ourselves. Understanding that you have allowed this situation in, and it's not about expecting other people to change. It's about you stepping into the energy of really reassessing where you want to put your time and energy and what you're going to be committed to. Yeah. Really beautiful energy. All right, well, I'm going to leave it there, Scorpio. I really do appreciate all of your support by liking, commenting, and subscribing. And it really does help to get my message out to more people. I really do appreciate you. And I look forward to seeing you soon. I wish you much love and light. Bye for now.